Ethereum right now is stuck within this trading range symmetrical triangle, and at this apex of the triangle where these two converging lines meet is where we expect either a big upside or big downside breakout. But because if we look to the left and we see we've had a long downwards trend on the exponential moving average, it then tells us that we have a higher probability of continuing to the downside once we reach this apex. Plus, we've got Bitcoin using this trendline trading strategy. We've got an upwards momentum trading strategy right here. We're actually using this trend line with pushes to the upside as support levels. As you can see, we've never broken below this trend line, and when we do break below this trend line, it will then be a sell signal to look for downwards continuation. But until then, we've got upwards momentum. We see the EMA pointing to the upside, so everything is telling us to look for longs to the upside. Plus, I have a lot of crypto news to go through with you today, and a lot of altcoins. We're going to apply this trendline trading strategy to them, so make sure you're watching until the end of the video. Make sure to check out my trading masterclass that's currently 50% off in this video description and pinned comment section. It's currently at a 50% off sale as I just released this 7-hour course that teaches you everything that you need to know to become a consistently long-term profitable trader in any market that you choose. Let's begin with the crypto news. Bitcoin, imagine they want to unsettle everyone with a head and shoulders formation and then drive up the price. People were fooled with the same trick back in 2020. Don't forget that in the last 6 years that they're always a rally after a bottom formation on this trend line. You can see right here how we've sort of got the exact same head and shoulders slightly tilted to the upside strategy right here, and we've also got it happening right now. And look at what happened after we got that. We got the small little decline, continuing that trendline trading strategy that I was talking about before, and then we got that massive pump to the upside. So if we were to follow a very similar projection, you can see what these bars are actually all of these bars here actually basically copied and then pasted over here as this purple basically projection in the market, and it's showing what is actually expected. As I showed you before, this trend line pointing to the upside, now basically making a bit of a sideways continuation before making that massive pump to the upside. So stay tuned with all those videos and make sure that you're subscribed and you hit the bell notification to stay tuned with all of my videos, as I'll keep you updated as which trades I'm taking. No patience. Bitcoin bears and recession callers are relentless, just below yearly highs. Astonishing. I see this price going sideways and I've never been more bullish. Just wait until we break into phase 2 on the 3-week RSI. Early bull market price action period. We can see here at the bottom, this is basically the RSI. This basically broken up into phase 3, phase 2, and phase 1. You see phase 1 is nearly every single time has been a buy signal. We can see back here in this 2011 to 2012 region, we came into this bottom phase 1 area. We got this big push to the upside. In here, in this 2015 region was another bottom. We came into this phase 1, massive pump to the upside. Exactly the same in this 2019, 2020 region, came into this bottom, massive pump to the upside. You can see what's just happened right here in this 2023 region. We've come to the bottom of this phase 1 region, and what are we expecting? A big push to the upside. We can also see every time we've come into this phase 3 region, back here in this 2011 top, phase 3, then again in this 2014 top, phase 3, then again in this 2017 to 2018 top, another top in there, and then again in this 2021 region, another signal top. So that's what we're really looking for. As I'm always teaching my own trading course, always looking to buy in the bottom 25%, then looking to sell in the top 25%. And that's basically what this strategy is taking advantage of. Lastly, in the crypto news, only 260 days until the Bitcoin halving, so plan accordingly. So we can see every single time we've had this halving coming up, the next one is coming up around middle of 2024. You see back here, we basically had a big pump coming into the halving and a big pump coming out of the halving. Very similar here. We basically had a doubling coming into the halving, then a massive pump out of the halving. Very similar here, having a big push to the upside before the halving event, and then also having a massive pump after the halving event. So potentially very similar through here. we are already having that early sort of pump to the upside, we will expect bullish momentum coming into the halving and then even continuing after that halving. So overall, just bullish for Bitcoin as the overall supply begins to dwindle. Now let's go over some actual cryptocurrencies. We're going to apply this trendline trading strategy to every single cryptocurrency that we look at today, which is something that we don't do in every single video. I just want to first begin with Ethereum. You can see on the 4-hourly time frame, when we actually scroll out, we have a really long and strong downtrend in the market shown by this exponential moving average, the 20 EMA, this orange moving average line on my chart. So you can see right now we are in a symmetrical triangle. We're basically in a trading range, and a trading range basically just means sideways prices, and a triangle is a form of sideways prices where we're failing to break to the downside, failing to break to the upside. We're basically moving sideways in this market. What we are expecting is right at this apex point, which is the last 1/3 of the triangle. You basically want to break a triangle into thirds. You can see this would be the first third, that would be the middle third, this probably something more like that, and then that would be the last third. So you always break a triangles into third, and you see in this last third of the triangle, which is around this point here, is where we expect that major breakout, either to the upside or to the downside. Triangles like this are around a 50-50 probability. So with that, the only thing is we are in a slight downtrend, so it does increase the probability closer to 55, somewhere around 60%, so somewhere around 50 to 60% probability of a downwards push here, but still somewhere around 50 to 40% chance of still an upside push. And that's why triangles, you just need to be careful. You want to wait for this apex point to actually occur. You start to see the breakout to the downside, then you continue with the trend and actually get that out. One way, a good way to actually measure it is to measure this actually, basically from the base of the triangle, the largest part of the triangle, then bring it over to the apex, which is where we're going to get that breakout. And then we can see we've got a 4% target to the downside around this $1,760 area for Ethereum. As I said, I want to apply the trendline trading strategy to Ethereum. We're going to use quickly on the weekly time frame and just use this trendline trading strategy. We can even see right through here how Ethereum is actually now holding this top side of this trendline trading strategy. We're failing to get breaks below. If we are to get a close below in here, it then would signal to then get out of any long signals. But as we continue to hold this trend line every time, the best way to actually enter is when we come back to the actual trend line. It's sort of like saying the average price. It's very similar to the exponential moving average, which is a trading strategy that I use and I teach you. As you can see, we have this upslope in the EMA, meaning that I want to be looking for longs to the upside. This trend line is basically just confirming that in a market, and is another way of actually confirming that. So now let's move over to Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, obviously, again, as I just showed you, we do have very similar uptrend like we do with Ethereum. If we actually look to the left here, you can see how we have this red line. You can see once we have these two pushes, 1, 2, we connect it and we actually push it across, and you can see what happens here. Once we would get a bar like this, that would actually signal right now to exit out of any trades. All through this region here, you'd actually be looking for shorts. And as soon as we get a bar like this, you have to exit out of your trades. So that's just something that you'd be forced to do. And then once you get a position right through here, you then can start to connect these lines, because all this line is connecting these two lines through here and then projecting it into the future. So you can see now the way actually we've broken above. And what we'd need to see is something very similar to like this, but to the downside, we need to see a big downwards bar like this that would signal to get out, and then you'd see we'd have more continuation like we did through here. So it's a very strong strategy to actually use. It's very similar to my EMA strategy. It's basically just confirming that you're trading with the long-term trend of the overall market. Next, we move over to Dogecoin. Let's actually apply this trendline trading strategy to Dogecoin. You can see that what we can actually do right here is basically use this type of line here. Like I explained in previous videos, you want to at least encapsulate around 90 to 95% of the price. And if it doesn't, then it's not a very good line. But you can see we do have some outliers where we are breaking slightly above. But you can see this line, basically what we are looking for right now is a break above this line, because this is showing us downwards momentum in the market. Every time we come to around this average price on this line, people are looking to sell in the market. And what are we doing right now? Look at what just happened. Price came back to this average trend line, and then we got a downwards momentum in the market. You can actually see that would be a pretty strong downwards trend. That's 11% to the downside. So a really big trade. As much as it only looks like small bars, because we're on the weekly time frame. So overall, you'd need to see a big break above. So not a bar like this one, like you see back here. You'd want to see an actual big, strong trend bar that only has a very small wick on the top and a very small wick on the bottom, but actually closes above this trend line through here. So overall, Dogecoin definitely not in that bullish trend line like we're seeing on Bitcoin and Ethereum. When we now look at Binance Coin, it's actually pretty hard to even put, you can't even really put a bullish trend line on this, as that's not really a bullish trend line through here, as much as it actually could be. But we've basically got a bearish trend line, potentially somewhere through like this area, maybe somewhere like that, and actually extending it slightly higher, even just bringing this price through here. That would actually probably be the best way, just like that through here. So you can see we're basically in a trading range where we're failing to break to the upside, failing to break to the downside. But overall, we're not in a bullish and we're not in a bearish market, basically just moving between these prices. So really, to get bearish, you'd want to see a break below into this area through here, and to be bullish, you'd want to see a break above into this area here. Now we come over to Litecoin. Litecoin is definitely a different story to a lot of these other different coins. You can see how Litecoin is actually, we can probably even include this price here, doesn't quite fit. It's more so probably here is actually the beginning of the bull trend. You can see we are sloping to the upside for Litecoin. So we can double click on this, actually change this to green to confirm that we are in this uptrend. Basically, every time we're coming down into these prices, we're looking for bullish pushes. And if you want to look to get into this trend, say you see this bullish trend line to the upside, you want to get into the trend, the best time to get in is when we come back to this trend line. Obviously, this isn't financial advice, but this is the overall strategy. If you want to use this strategy, that's really what you want to be looking. You want to be looking to buy in this bottom half and then selling in this top 25%. So overall, right now, we want to be watching Litecoin over the next few days and seeing and actually looking to potentially get into a position and holding this to the upside. We'd want to see a big and strong downwards breakout until we actually confirm that we are in a bearish market. So let's actually finish off there. Make sure to check out my trading masterclass in the video description. It is currently 50% off, but it won't be like that forever. And I teach you everything that you need to know to become a consistently long-term profitable trader in cryptocurrencies, Forex, stocks. It really doesn't matter, even Forex. Make sure to smash the like button, make sure to smash the subscribe button, and make sure to click the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of my latest videos. If you'd like to watch one of my latest crypto videos right now, click the video that's on your screen right now.